is Malvern St. James Girls School. And representing them today, we have Dr. Gareth Lloyd. He's the head of school. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's lovely to be introduced by Brains and Butter, with whom we have a great relationship. And thank you, my colleagues in Brains and Butter, and a particularly warm hello to Dr. Alo, with whom I've had a lovely relationship for several years. I would also like to introduce my fantastic head girl, who this year just happens to be from Abuja, Rukaya. And Rukaya will speak the truth about MSJ to you all very shortly. I thought I'd give you a brief presentation and by PowerPoint. You can read the factual information. It's quite simple to read on screen, and I will just touch on a few points related to each of the PowerPoint presentation sheets. But I will start by saying I've only just recently returned from Nigeria. My head of admissions, Miss Yulia, and I flew into Abuja, where we were for 2 days, and then from Abuja we flew to Lagos. And we were just overwhelmed by the warmth of welcome and the joyousness of Nigeria. For both of us, it was our first visit to Nigeria, and we loved it. We had such lovely interactions with parents at a number of schools, and we are very excited at the prospect of perhaps as many as 10 Nigerian girls from both Abuja and Lagos joining us this September. We already have a lovely representation of African countries in our school. More on that in a moment. So we had a fantastic visit. So thank you to all Nigerians for creating such a joyful country. All countries across the world are facing challenges at the moment. What really matters is how we address those challenges, and underpinning how we do that should be our values. And it was wonderful to see values practiced across all parties that we met in Nigeria, just as we do here at Malvern St. James Girls' School. The clue to our school is in the name, Girls' School. We're incredibly proud of being an all-girls school. More on that in a moment. I ask our girls to do 3 things to keep me happy, and I ask the staff to keep me happy by 1 thing. I ask the girls to work hard because life is competitive, and those good grades are very important to access opportunities later in life. I ask them to play hard, and it is through playing hard, their sport, their music, their drama, their art club, their cinema club, their language club. We have over 100 activities during the week and on the weekend. It is through those activities that the girls learn the really important life skills that help them through the path of their life. It prepares them for life after Malvern St. James. It teaches them the importance of leadership and teamwork, but also humility and kindness and love and forgiveness and the ability to forgive. Those are really important human qualities that are best inculcated outside of the academic confines of a classroom. And then most importantly, I ask the girls to look after each other. So they work hard, they play hard. Most importantly, they look after each other. What is the good of all those A stars, the first team sports representation, your grade 8 in drama and grade 8 in music, etc., unless you bring all of those experiences and qualifications together to have a positive impact on the world that we are entering. And we desperately need young people, and in our case, young women, who are grounded with strong values and moral code, and bringing all of their competencies to a world with which they can engage. So I ask the girls to work hard, play hard, look after each other. And I ask the staff to do 1 thing, and I don't use this word glibly. I ask them to inspire happiness. Happiness is key to a productive child who will engage in her academic learning, who will enjoy coming out of her comfort zone, participating in new activities, and most importantly, happiness is about being kind and approachable. I don't know about you, but I certainly didn't always have kind, approachable teachers. And at MSJ, that is 1 thing I absolutely insist on, especially for the experience of our boarders, many of whom are living many thousands of miles away from their parents. So we are very much their home, and I suppose I consider myself their big daddy, all 5'7" of me. So we try to create a beautiful, loving atmosphere. We try to ensure that learning is always fun, because then it is memorable and it stays for life. So you can see our beautiful school set just at the foothills of the foot of Malvern Hills. We are in a great location. We are only 1.5 hours from Heathrow, 2 hours from London Paddington, and the train station comes right outside of our school. So it's a fabulous location. Our girls from Nigeria tend to fly into Heathrow. Some will fly into Birmingham, which is only 45 minutes away. And our drivers with a house mistress will always meet the girls as they arrive in the country. You can see that we are 3 to 18 and boarding starts at the age of 7. Our youngest boarders tend to be the younger sisters, or they're the daughters of military families. So most of our boarding intake starts at age 11, then again at age 13, 14 and into the 6th form. We're approximately 300 girls, and that is made up of roughly 60% British, 40% international. And of the boarding community, it is roughly 50-50 between British and our overseas. And of course, we're represented by a lovely rich community that covers at least 15 countries. We are a Christian school, and we welcome all faiths. I think it is really important. I'll use the word Catholic for a moment, but in its original ancient Greek meaning, it means universal. So I think it is very important that we at MSJ welcome everybody with a universality of warmth and respect, regardless of background, faith, colour, economic status. It happens to be that Ruqayya is a very proud Muslim. I happen to be a cradle Catholic. We welcome all faiths and none. And I think that's very important for parents to know, because we're a very values-driven school. And we're very proud of that. We offer over 25 subjects at both GCSE and A-level, including our Global Competency Certificate, which is based on the International Baccalaureate values and principles, but we follow a strict A-level program. We also include the EPQ, the Extended Professional Qualification, and our HPQ, which is a higher qualification in a number of key subjects. So it's all about preparing the girls to be very competent as they move into life after school. So why MSJ? If I were to say the word brotherhood to men and boys, it is essentially a bit meaningless. I have learned with a real sense of humility and then pride that say the word sisterhood to girls and women, and there are so many lovely complex layers to this word. It's about kindness, it's about support, it's about having fun in their learning, it's about supporting each other through difficult times, it's learning to forgive as well as to accept forgiveness. It's these lifelong qualities that define, I think, possibly the difference between the majority of men and women. In an assembly last year, I asked the girls, how many countries are at war at the moment? And the answer was a frightening 36. I then asked them what was the common denominator between those 36 countries. I had some good answers. They weren't correct. Somebody said religion. It wasn't correct. Somebody said resources. It wasn't correct. The answer was that all 36 countries are led by men. Now, I am not man bashing or boy bashing. What I'm saying is that girls and women may bring different qualities of empathy, listening, diplomacy skills when it comes to some of those really big, serious challenges that are thrown to us both locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. So we try to create this sense of sisterhood that is very globally orientated. We've got terrific academic results. You can see some of the statistics on the screen. We know from the research that Cambridge University published in February 2024 that girls in an all-girls school will outperform all expectations of themselves if they remain in that all-girls school for sixth form. We know that that is factually correct based on Cambridge University's research. What we do also then need to appreciate is that girls need the opportunities to develop competencies in dealing with boys, because that will be their future when they go to university and enter the workplace. So listening to the girls, over the past 12 months, we have joined the Round Square, which is a group of 272 schools around the world that share very similar values, that consider themselves stewards of our broken world, So there's a lot of understanding about global warming, how the co-curriculum, our extracurricular activities, can develop character and complement everything that is learned in the classroom. So some of our younger girls at the moment are working with a boys' school in Bogota in Colombia, looking at local history and local geography, and they're doing this via live PowerPoint presentations. It's really exciting to see. We've also joined the International Coalition of Girls' Schools. So this is specifically for girls' schools from around the English-speaking countries of the world, 2,000 altogether. And there's a great deal of research into teaching strategies and learning skills. So that's an exciting development. And much more recently, we've joined the Galaxy Global Group, which is a small family of international schools, really promoting internationalism, global competencies, and it will give our girls the opportunities to undertake activities that they can't even begin to imagine, with a lot of exchanges around the world. So we know that we're giving the girls a fantastic academic grounding. We know that we prepare our girls extremely well for Oxford, Cambridge, and other Russell Group universities. We offer terrific support for those who are applying to universities overseas, such as the Ivy League. And we are very proud of the involvement of the old girls, who are always guiding our current girls in their choice of careers and university choices, etc. So we're really proud of our community's academic credentials. The girls know that their GCSE and A-level results are but a stepping stone to realizing their dream. So we will support them in their co-curriculum, we will support them in their friendships, but at the heart of everything we do is academic ambition for each and every girl. I emphasize those words because as a small school, we take great pride in knowing every single girl's needs, and we meet those needs. So if we move to some of the co-curriculum, just briefly, you can see a range of the activities. And there's a photograph of me with a delightful group of girls at a school that I visited last week in Abuja. I felt like the Pied Piper, actually. They were so excited to welcome me to their school, and it was very humbling. And they all wanted to know some of the activities. So it's a huge range of activities: sport, music, drama, underpin much. The Duke of Edinburgh Award is huge. Interestingly, the most popular club is dissection, and it's a compulsory club for those who are considering medicine, dentistry, or veterinary science. And we have a range of sporting activities that are trying to meet the needs of every single girl. I myself coach badminton, athletics, tennis, and many staff are involved in the sports program, as well as all other subjects. My own personal subjects are music and languages. So music obviously gives me the opportunity to interact with the choirs, the orchestras, etc. So there's a little bit on our co-curriculum. We attempt to meet the needs of every family in applying. We are well aware of the economic challenges that many families experience, particularly our Nigerian friends, and we take this matter very seriously. So there are monetary attachments to scholarships and, of course, to bursaries. Scholarships recognise giftedness and attainment, either academic or in one of those skills such as art, drama, sport and music. Bursaries are means tested, and so they will be awarded according to the affordability of the parents to send their girls. We're under no illusion. Boarding school fees in the UK are high. I have terrific support from my governing body to take each case as on a one-to-one basis. So please do not hesitate to engage in absolute confidence with myself and our head of admissions when it comes to discussing financial assistance. We recognise that it is so important. Not least because we are wanting to build our relationship with the West African Examinations Council and West African and indeed African countries altogether across the continent. My aim at MSJ is to broaden the 15 countries from which we currently draw to approximately 20 to 25. And in this way, I can ensure that each year group has between 4 and 5 girls from any one country, with English and English culture being celebrated whilst respecting all other cultures. I must let you into a little secret. I came back from Nigeria with my proudest possession. It's a beautiful silk Nigerian suit. It doesn't quite fit me. I think Nigerian men must be considerably taller than me, but I've had the trousers taken up and I can't wait to wear it on one special occasion. So we want to be as supportive as possible. If you are interested in Malvern St. James, particularly after you've heard Ruqaiya speak, please do not hesitate to contact our head of admissions, Miss Julia. We are very happy to welcome any girl to us for a free 1 week taster, so that she can board, experience the whole community, whether that's the boarding, the academic experience and the lessons, the co-curricular activities after school. And we have a virtual open morning on the 24th of February at 11 o'clock. So again, you'd be most welcome to ask to join that. And there will be more people other than just myself and Ruqaiya presenting at that point. But you've heard enough from me. Now I want you to hear from the most important person in this room, and that is our head girl, Miss Ruqaiya Bagudu. Ruqaiya.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. As you've heard, my name is Ruqaiya, and I'm from Abuja. I lived in Abuja all my life, but I'm originally from the north, so I'm from Kebbi State in particular. So I joined MSJ 4 years ago now in 2021, and I joined in year 10. So I was at a British school, so I had some experience. So on that side, the adjustment wasn't too much, changing to the GCSE system and learning how the sort of the academics work. That was okay because I was at a British school. But I think also for those who are not, who may be at a predominantly Nigerian curriculum, because it's a bit mixed. I think the Nigerian curriculum is very broad, so actually will help your transition better into a British school. And so I did my GCSEs, I did pretty well. And
she did extremely well.
And I'm now doing my A-levels in maths, physics, and chemistry. And I'm hoping to study chemistry in university. So currently going through the whole application process and all of the things that come with that. And just thinking about that a bit more, the support we receive on that side is amazing. As a sixth former, I get to have a mentor who will take me through everything I need to know. No matter where in the world I want to apply to in university, there's a team of people supporting me. And I feel like not just university, it is the same with everything, whether it is my subjects, whether it is the sports that I do or my drama, there's always a team of people supporting and wanting to push me and wanting to make me as best as I can possibly be, starting from my house mistresses to all my teachers, subject specific, and also my friends, all the people that I have built these relationships with over the years. And as Dr. Lloyd said, I truly do think the best word to describe MSJ is a sisterhood. I have a lot of sisters. So when I left home, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But coming here, it's like I have a lot more now. I don't feel like I'm missing, of course I miss my sisters, but I'm not missing too much from those relationships, because I've built them here, and I know these are friendships that are absolutely going to last a lifetime, because I think boarding really, really helps you. You get to connect with people on a different level. You're living with these girls 24/7 for a really large part of the year. So of course you develop relationships that it just wouldn't be the same if you weren't in that community. But saying that also, with the day girls, it is exactly the same. There is absolutely no difference in relationship, whether we are day girls or whether we are boarders, weekly boarders, flexi boarders. And I think that's really amazing. So sisterhood is truly the right word, and community as well is also very important. One thing I feel it is really important to mention is that, like Dr. Lloyd said, this is a Christian school that welcomes all faiths and none. And just when we were doing my research for schools, there wasn't a single other school that we looked at that, for example, offered halal food as an option, or had a prayer room that I could go to and use whenever I needed to, and had that understanding that, look, this is just what she needs. It's not reducing anything from what we have to offer at the school. It's not a strain on our resources, but we're simply going to do the best to provide for every girl, no matter what it is she needs, no matter beyond dietary requirements. I think everyone in MSJ will go above and beyond to make sure that every girl's needs are met, which is very important. When you're sending your child to a school, you know, quite far from home, you really do want to be comfortable that where she's going, you know, she's going to be happy and she's going to be safe, really importantly. And Malvern is incredibly safe. Coming from Abuja, which is a city, but you know, as we know, it's a lot more quiet. It's nothing compared to Lagos. So the adjustment, it was okay. Malvern is a very lovely, very peaceful, quiet town, but also that has lots of youth, because obviously this is a pretty big school. There's a lot of young people here, and we all pretty much know each other. But it's also great that you have that sort of escape, especially if you're coming from Lagos. I think Malvern is actually a really good place for you, because before you start university or whatever, before you go out into the real world, you have a chance to just leave Lagos behind a little bit and, you know, leave the traffic behind, and you can just come and, you know, enjoy yourself in Malvern. It's also, I think, a really good distance from Birmingham and London, as Dr. Lloyd mentioned. And so that's really easy to navigate. On Exeat weekends, we go on the train, which is literally right in front of the school. It's perfect. We go on the train to London and elsewhere, and I think this year we've started having teachers come with us, just because there's quite a lot of people that go on these Exeat weekends to London. So again, it's just the safety of it. It's just making sure that we're all okay, and I think that's really important. I'm trying to think, what else can I?
You've spoken brilliantly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening to us both, and I must say thank you, best ambassador ever.